So recently a viewer, Cruise with HT, asked me to do a video on tops. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about the Thunderbird hardtop made out of fiberglass, as well as a soft top, which is hidden under the rear deck and behind the seat in this 57. So in this episode, we're entitling, "Can You Top That?" Welcome to Thunderbird Garage.
Thunderbird Garage, where the classics come alive. 57 magic, man, it's more than just a drive. Thunderbird Garage, let the good times thrive. Ooh.
So did the Thunderbird come with a hard top, a soft top? What's the story about that? Well, I think you need to go back to originally when the Thunderbird was introduced. It was considered the Thunderbird Convertible. So when you look at press photos, most often it doesn't have a top. It's designed to have that open air and wind in the hair kind of motoring experience. And when you ordered the car, you could typically order a hard top, a soft top, or both. It's a little confusing, but on invoices, we find that oftentimes if you ordered the hard top, it was considered no charge. And if you ordered a soft top in place of the hard top, you were charged $75. And if you wanted both tops, you were charged $290. A bargain compared to today, right? So what are the differences in some of the tops? Well, this is a 57, as we've discussed here. It's got the porthole windows. When the car was originally introduced, Suzanne Summers and American Graffiti hadn't been a thing yet, and the top typically had no porthole at all. It had a little Ford logo right here, and suddenly people realized that you can't see very well out of this thing, so they created the porthole. It was a sensation. People loved it, and dealers ended up installing it. And then you saw the porthole be much more popular as things went forward, and it became a factory option. This 57 has a porthole hardtop from the factory, but if you were to delete that and say, I didn't want the porthole hardtop in 57, you also would have gotten a little bit of a different type of logo here in place of that to let you know that you had a Ford type of vehicle. What else are some of the differences? When you look at the top here, these seams here, these upholstery seams, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. In 55 through most of 56, you saw 6 of them. And then they cleaned up the top a little bit and they went with 5 seams. So that's another way you know, am I looking at a later top or an earlier top? The hard top on the 57 Thunderbird, or the 55 or 56 for that matter, was a heavy affair. 85 pounds feels more like 100 plus to me. And Ford said it was easy to lift on and off. Yes, maybe if you're the Incredible Hulk or do high rocks every day, but not me. I typically like 2 guys that are working out to help me with this thing. But in any event, it goes and lifts on here. It's got 2 locking pins in the back that go into this plate, one on either side. The keyed pins that stick out of that sharp piece that points down were 3/32 in 55, and then in 56 and 57 they went to a 1/8 inch, I guess you'd call it a pin that stuck out of the dowel that goes into this keyway. And there are 2 mounting holes, one for the hardtop, one for the soft top. The hardtop, just the way it sat and the top was angled, required more room, so that's why they needed a double area, if you will, or a double mounting area. But we'll get into it, but some of the hardtop and soft top handles for latches were a little bit different through the years. 55 had a little bit of a different one, especially in the soft top. There's a paddle type of handle there on the soft top, which is different than in 55. But there are 2 keyways that lock in the back here. There are 2 side clamps on either side, and there are 2 front clamps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to hold down the hardtop as well as the soft top on the car. So as we jump into the soft top here, what were some of the differences between the 55, 56, and 57 soft tops? Well, the 55 originally, when it first was released, was only available with a black soft top, a rayon black soft top. Then white became an option, and that was in a plastic material called cotan. Sounds very futuristic from the 50s. But according to archives, that white cotan didn't hold up very well in low temperatures. The other unique difference between the 55 and early 56 soft tops were that they were completely stitched for a rear window, meaning the rear window couldn't be unzipped and dropped down. However, as 56 went along and into 57, they had some additional options where they put a zipper and a couple of straps to kind of roll up your plastic window so you could have air breezing right through your car with an open plastic or the plastic opened in back. So that was a difference as we went along into 56 and 57. Another issue or interest of note for options in 57 for the soft top was you had black, blue, white, and tan. This actually has tan. That was rayon, so they had 4 color combinations that became available in the soft top for 57. This tan top is sort of matching the car. I don't love tan. I'm a white or a black soft top kind of guy, but in any event, you tell me what you think. And then the last difference I think you'll find is the kind of the mounting front edge of the soft top had 2 chrome strips, or a chrome strip that was divided in 55 and then a single wider chrome strip in 57. So how does this soft top operate? Well, let me show you here. Open the door and you move the seat forward, pull this way, and this rear curtain covers where the soft top is located. So you pull that back, and there's actually a couple of grommets that you release off the floor to do that. I've already released them. Put that back here. And then you'll begin to see the tan convertible top back there. So what we do is we move it forward and flip it back out on top of the rear deck. So it sort of goes like this. There's something called a swing arm that's going to come up now. So once I do that, I'm going to drop this guy down. And then not as easy as we think, right? Go over here. Because sometimes you get some friction from both doors from the width of the top. And now we lift up here, the swing arm is in place, and we gently put that down there. I'm going to bolt those in place as well, or clamp those in place. But then once we do that, it's really easy to pinch the plastic window. So I'm trying to avoid that. I'm going to move this forward now, and you will see. Not as easy as you would think, right? Wow, so I just saved you from my swearing and looking like a total fool on camera here as I was putting the top up. What I was fighting with is there's an actual retaining clip here or tie down on both sides, and this one was folded under the little metal bracket, and so I wasn't getting the rear to sit on the rear deck the way it does. The other thing is the rear handles for the top are spring loaded. So they want to stay open, so you actually have to climb under there inelegantly or use a partner. Same thing with the soft top as with the hard top. You have someone pulling them forward, fitting them in the actual keyways and pushing down a little bit and then tightening them up. So anyway, it's less of an elegant process than it should be. They should have invented that kind of powered top that they brought out in '58. But in any event, our top has kind of is locked down in place right now, and I'll show you as we bring this forward. So we go like this, and it binds, it wants to catch. So you end up having to do a little bit of this. So kind of have to manhandle it a little bit to get it in place. But once we do, we can put the seat back, and hopefully we're not drenched in rain at this point if we've stopped to put up our top. And then I've got these retaining clips here that it's easier if you open the sun visors as well too. And then you've got to move the top a little bit, get this clip in place, and then do that. I'll show you a video of what that looks like inside. So once again, some of the differences are these handles are wider. They were much more vertical and straight on the early cars of 55 and the beginning of 56. And you'll notice that we have chrome rivets and a black frame. And then we have another wider handled bracket back here, and the actual retaining clips or the retaining handles in back. Here's the view of the zip off soft top as well. It's it's a little bit of an operation. The other thing you'll notice, see this spine here right over the middle of the window? They introduced this for 57 because there was a sag in some of the roofs. So you can tell you're looking at a later car with this middle kind of roof brace or spine for the convertible top. And then, yes, we've got the unzipperable rear window in back, which is nice. And then you've got the welting here. It looks like we got a little pinch here from actually putting it down. It's cut the fabric here a little bit, unfortunately, but once again, maybe I'll do this in white, who knows, at some point. But that's how the convertible top goes up. I'm not going to take it down now because I'm breathing heavily, as you can tell from just doing that. But it's nice to have both a hard and a soft top on the car. Taking the top down is much easier. Release, and then just pull back like that. Try not to wreck your rear window in the process. So what do you think? Soft top, hard top, no top? Let me know in the comments. I've had a fun time sharing the tops of the 57 Thunderbird with you. I also wanted to let you see me struggle a little bit because the top mechanisms, both are unwieldy, they're a little old school, and it's interesting, what we consider luxury today with our digitized perfection that we have in everything wasn't always the case back in the 50s. And people put up with more of a I don't know, manual effort, if you will, to enjoy their personal car. But I think the other interesting thing about tops, I'll leave this thought with you, is that if you're looking at buying a Thunderbird, and Thunderbird prices are not going up the way they have in the past. And in fact, some of them have fallen significantly. But if you're looking for a car that only has, or you're looking for a car and it only has one top, be careful, because if you want to go out and buy an original soft top, oftentimes you'll have to buy the frame, which needs to be restored, and then you have to put the fabric on top of that. Labor is not what it was 20, 30, 40 years ago, and that can be a king's ransom to do that. This car did not have the soft top from the factory, and the owners of Walt's car, who I bought it from, ended up buying that frame and doing that effort. So they spent some money on that. And I think there are other options too. There are aftermarket soft tops that aren't original, but certainly do the job. If you're taking the car out in a sunny climate and just want protection from rain, you have that option as well. But in any event, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Thunderbird Garage.